So, now that we know what ITALM is, let's dig into its 5 key phases. Let's zero in on an IT asset, say a company-issued laptop. The asset doesn't just magically appear one day and disappear when it stops working. It follows a journey, and that journey happens in 5 phases. Phase 1. Planning and procurement. This is where everything starts. Before buying an asset, you need to ask the right questions. What's the actual need? How long do we expect this asset to last? And what's the total cost of ownership, not just the upfront price? Don't skip this step and just buy whatever's cheapest. Cheap assets often cost more in the long run because of higher failure rates, increased downtime, and shorter lifespans. Procurement is also when you set up vendor relationships and negotiate contracts. Do you get bulk discounts? Extended warranties? Support agreements? Thinking ahead pays off later. Don't discount your agents getting certifications to repair your specific manufacturer's hardware, to maintain warranty, reduce downtime, and to control costs. Phase 2. Deployment and configuration. Alright, the asset is purchased. Now what? First, we need to securely receive the asset. This is usually the point of entry for this asset into your Asset Management Database, or AMDB, physically inspected, labeled, and secured during this transition. Then, it's pretty typical to set up the asset so it's prepared for use. That means installing the necessary software and security settings, affixing asset tag if not done sooner, validation of asset number or barcode, assigning it to a user or department. Some organizations just hand the device over and call it a day. But without a structured deployment process, people aren't ready to just take care of this new thing. Security policies aren't followed. Devices get lost. A well-managed deployment ensures that everything is documented, secured, and ready to go before the asset is put into service. An excellent experience has an introduction for your customers and colleagues that helps the transition go fast and without incident. Phase 3. Maintenance and optimization. This is the longest phase of an asset's life. This is where most of the work happens. Over time, IT assets need updates and patches to keep software running smoothly and securely, repairs and troubleshooting because hardware isn't invincible, and performance monitoring to make sure that assets are still meeting business needs. Some of the systems that support ITALM include IT Asset Management, Remote Monitoring and Management, Endpoint Detection and Response, Mobile Device Management, and Unified Endpoint Management. Investing in these tools can save time and money, to say the least. Instead of waiting for things to break, organizations should be proactive, identifying aging devices, replacing faulty components, and avoiding surprise failures. Maintaining assets is difficult and dangerous. So design great processes for those teams to do it comfortably and quickly. Now, each company and situation is unique, and if there is a software issue, ensure that it can be dealt with remotely as often as possible. When hardware fails, many shops do quick shipping replacements, dropping an imaged laptop into an insured overnight package, so the employee experiences very little downtime. There is a return label included to ship back the malfunctioning asset. These should be repaired and prepared for additional deployment and use, of course. Phase 4. Asset retirement and disposition. Eventually, every asset reaches the end of its useful life. Maybe it's outdated, maybe it's broken, maybe it's just too expensive to keep maintaining. So, what do? Just tossing it in the trash isn't an option. There are security risks, compliance requirements, and environmental responsibilities. Proper disposal means securely wiping all data before recycling or reselling, complying with regulations around electronic waste disposal, and exploring resale, donation, or trade-in programs to recover value. Retirement doesn't just mean getting rid of stuff. You need to close the loop efficiently and responsibly. Also, keep in mind data and reporting. Throughout all these phases, you're collecting valuable data. How long do your assets typically last? What's costing more than it should? And what is the value of warranty purchases? Good ITALM turns this data into insights, helping you to optimize budgets, plan for future needs, and avoid costly mistakes.